காவல்துறை உங்கள் நண்பன். So a few days back, around 5 to 6 days back, an incident happened in Sathankulam in Tamil Nadu. Please don't take my word as the official report for it. Na yaro, like whatever I heard and I listened from my sources, I believe them to be genuine sources because of what they cited. It's all based on word of mouth. Honestly, I'm okay with that at this point. So what happened is we are under a lockdown here. The government has instructed public shops, everyone to be shut by 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. I'm not sure. So what happens is the cops have gone around and have been telling people in Sathankulam that, guys, you'll have to close your shops. One of the people there in the crowd have shouted back saying, all these shops are open. Why the hell are you asking my shop alone to close? Perhaps there was a bad word also thrown into that or whatever. So this was ignored by the cops that day. The next day, the cops come back half an hour prior to the shops being shut down, and he goes straight to the voice that was spoken, whose name is Mr. Jairaj, and he goes, "You're that voice, right? There's an inquiry that's put on you, so you have to come down to the police station." Right there, I have a problem with processing this. Why the fuck should anyone go to a police station to face an inquiry because of something he said? Okay, you know what? Our judicial system is like that. You have slander, you have obstruction of justice. ஏதோ ஒரு காரணம் சொல்லிட்டு you can ask, they're also asking. So it's still civil at this point. So you can go. And Jairaj is like, you know what? The police station is like half a kilometer away. I will just walk there. But the police, to show their might and fucking power, they're like, illa mudiyadhu jeep layer. Police இது ஒரு பெரிய, they like, it gets them high, gets them fucking hard-ons, I think. Like, every time they go up to the public, like, jeep layer. And the problem is us also. We're also scared of this fucking box of a vandi called the police jeep. It's because of the social taboo that's built all around us. In all families, we thought, right from a small, போலீஸ்காரன் வீட்டுக்கு வரக்கூடாது, நீ போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷனுக்கு போகக்கூடாது. They, of course, are saying it with good intention, but these fucking assholes are taking advantage of it, dude. Like, they think it's a big deal, like public shaming if someone gets into a police jeep. So that's what they did. So fine, he got into the jeep and he goes to the police station. A while later, his son, Felix or Phoenix, I'm not sure, he hears about his dad being called to the police station and he goes straight to the police station. And at the police station, we're not sure what exactly ensued, but by the reports, it's such that the police had inquired Jairaj, the father, asking, why did you make a statement like that? Like, that's the connotation. This is basically every police guy ever in Tamil Nadu. There's no difference in this. Like, you could say, I'll say 90%, dude. 10% there are nice police guys. Yes, of course, I've encountered a few. So yeah, there's some verbal debate that happened in the police station, and as fucking usual, the police guy is the first one to raise his hand and fucking slap or do something to the father. Why the police have this basic right to lay a freaking hand on anybody, I don't understand. I've never understood from day one. Unless the other person is obstructing justice or is being a fucking threat, you cannot lay a hand. It's not just in this case. All you police guys, you think you have power and liberty to just go around and laying your hands on people. But at the same time, if the person who got hit chooses to hit you back, what would you do immediately? Oho, police-kara mele kai vechtiya. This is a very common phrase used in Tamil Nadu, guys. Police-kara mele kai vechtiya ni. Police-karangitteye edir pestiya ni. It's this huge threat. Do you remember the time when AIB had to come on air and then say, fuck you, ISIS, to remove this fear that we all had of ISIS and no one was even talking about it? Well, that's who the police guys think they are here. So what happened is they hit the father, and in self-defense, he blocked him or he pushed his shoulder away or whatever it is. And the son, viewing all this, abused the police officer, saying, how dare you lay a finger on my father? That hit the police people's ego intensely. There's an SI there, and that's who this son asked, like, why did you hit my father? Or he insulted him back. So what happened after that is, the police guys took the son, turned him to the wall, stripped him naked, and beat him up with a stick. Beat him up so bad, he was yelling, and then his dad is like, please stop. Like any normal father is like, please stop this. Why are you doing this? And then the police guys, these sadistic pieces of shit, look at the father and like, oh, if I hit your son, you're feeling hurt. You know what? Let's just hit you. And they take the father and then they beat him up in a similar fashion. The cops had them for an entire night there. There was a lawyer, a friend of Phoenix, standing outside the police station and yelling and saying, you cannot do this, you cannot lay a finger on them, they haven't done any wrong for you to physically harm them. They throw the lawyer out of the police station and they lock the police station, and then they continue this huge criminal injustice. They beat up father and son, they strip them naked, they take them to the terrace, and then they take a stick, a lati, and they shove it up their asshole really hard until their rectum is damaged and is bleeding. Last time something like this happened, the entire country was shocked that their daughter Nirbhaya was just dehumanized and broken. And how can these fucking police officers have the heart to do something like that? And please don't be surprised. I'm not that surprised when I heard that. Why? Because I'm conditioned to this. I've heard worse cases happening in jails and by police officers. These guys are beaten up black and blue to such an extent that Phoenix's sister has claimed that Phoenix has a lot of body hair. On seeing the post-mortem report of the bodies, there is no hair on his body at all. They have clawed him, they have scratched him, beaten him up until they were fully bleeding from their entire bodies. And the next day when they had to be taken to the court, they've been asked to sit inside the police car. They've been beaten up so badly in their bottoms that they could not even sit in the police vandi. They asked them to place some cotton there because they genuinely cannot sit on anything. They place some cotton, and the cotton is fully soaked in blood. The lungis are fully soaked in blood. They are taken to a hospital to get a medical examination done, because that's a procedure before you go and produce them at court. And at the hospital, the doctor first says they have high BP. Of all the reasons, he says they have high BP and they cannot be admitted. So what does the tag team of the police and the government workers and the hospital people and all do? They inject them with some medicines and do injections and all, and then they declare them saying, okay, now they are fit. Yeah, the hospital and doctors have deemed these two people, the father and son, who were beaten black and blue with their skins ripped off of them, with sticks inserted into their rectums and bleeding from their anuses. The father and son were shouting so loudly that neighbors 500 meters away from the police station come running the road to find out what happened. This screaming had prolonged through the night. Through the night, father and son had been screaming. This is how much they've been beaten up by the police. These two people have been deemed fit by the hospital and the doctor. Fine. Then they're taken to the court. While they're taken to the court, unfortunately, Phoenix chose to not tell the magistrate that of the injustice that was carried out to him out of fear, which is a very understandable feeling for anyone living in Tamil Nadu or India or anyone subject that knows about police for that matter. The police have threatened Phoenix, saying if you open a word of what happened inside his police station in the court, your entire family will be fucked. We will ensure that. And you don't have to even remotely, investigate the credibility of this. 100% அவன் சொல்லியிருப்பான். 1000% that guy would have said it, because these police guys have said this and done this to so many people in the past. So Phoenix is like, okay, you know what? I don't want to say anything, and he just agrees to the charges laid on father and son. What are the charges, by the way? It's obstruction of justice and I don't know the exact terms, but hitting the police officer or something, which was done in self-defense, by the way. But these are the two reasons. And because of these two reasons, those two are actually been asked to put in a sub-jail. So they are taken to a sub-jail. They have not passed through another physical or health examination there. They are just admitted. And over the course of the next 2 days, father and son are refused medical treatment, and they succumbed to their injuries and they died. That's right. Phoenix and Jairaj, owners of a shop in Sathankulam, whose faults were insulting the police and hitting back the police, have died at the hands of the police. And yeah, by the way, justice has already been served, guys. In case you're wondering, this has happened a while, and you know what's happened to the murderous police officers? They've been transferred. Great, right? That's perfect. That's just how justice is spelt. They've been transferred so they can carry out this injustice at another place. These guys have killed 2 people. People who are supposed to protect us. They've killed 2 people. Why? To protect their fucking ego. To protect the fear in the public eye that police karna totta idan nalama. This is what these freaking police officers want to put out. This is the message that they want to be heard out clearly. Police-கார மேல கைய வெச்சா நீ காலி. And honestly, I can understand the fear that a lot of my well-wishers and my family and friends have told me to. They told me, Macha, don't put out a video on this. அவங்க வந்து உன்னை குறி வச்சுன்னு at some point later in your life when you are doing something, when you get caught for something small, they will pull this up and they will fuck you up for this. Please don't do this. This is the advice that I was told. And honestly, I am scared. I am a little scared even right now when I'm putting out this video. I am scared because I've seen police people being extremely willful, extremely prejudiced, extremely egoful, and they will do anything they want just to prove their point, just to make sure their pride is intact. All of us are comfortable sitting behind our likes and our comments. We're not even, we can't even muster up the fear to put our face in front of camera and say, yes, police officers, fuck you. We're not afraid of you. What you did is incredibly normal to you guys, first of all, and shameful. Stop it. So please, 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 everyone watching this video, the least you could do is pick up that phone of yours, record yourself with your face saying that you're not afraid of the cops anymore, and we are sick of police brutality. சத்தியமாக இப்பயும் பயமாக தான் இருக்குது சொல்லும்போது. It's because of conditioning. I can't help it. I've seen people getting beaten up. I've been beaten up by cops. I've been beaten up and slapped before I could even say anything. Apparently that's the police-கான way. அடிச்சு தான் பேசுவாங்க மாமே அவங்களாம் அப்படி தான், எதுவும் பண்ண முடியாது, நம்ம பாட்டுக்கு சூத்து மட்டும் போகணும். This is what I've always been taught. And because of this attitude, because of us சூத்து மட்டும் போகிறது, these guys will keep fucking extending that line. They will keep drawing further. They will keep pushing. They will keep seeing how much they can push and abuse this power they've been given. Why are people so fucked up with abusing power when they get it? You're in a position to protect, not exploit. Please live up to your fucking job. Please, guys, put out a video. Please mention your thoughts. It could be in your story, it could be in your IGTV, it can be anywhere, but drop the fear. I know, and yes, I understand that we can't be America. It would be absolutely senseless of us to march to the streets right now and protest in hordes and groups. I would not want that. I do not want to bring the virus back to my home and give it to my father or mother or anybody. So yes, I would not advise all of us protesting out on the roads, but this is something we can do. We've learned about how working from home and remote functioning is happening in this entire lockdown. So please use that power. Every one of you all have accounts. Every one of you all are attached to a bunch of other people. So put out your face. That's what matters. Not just text, not just a comment, not just a share. Put out your face, dropping the fear and calling out the police and calling out this injustice. Please do this. Please.